This is my review of the Moby Grape album, Legendary Grape. It was released in 1989 and produced by Mindy Gills, I probably said that wrong, and Dennis Newhall. So this album, I guess when it was first released, it was on cassette, and they only made like 500 copies, and since then it's been released on vinyl and CD. The CD version apparently has like 8 extra tracks on it. I'm not going to be talking about those because I've never heard them. I just have this vinyl version, which I got like probably like 2 years ago on eBay. I don't remember what I paid for it. This is on there right now for like different prices. There's some cheap, some expensive. The CD also looks like it's on there. Also, some of them cheap, some of them expensive. Lineup on this album is, I think, all of the original band except for Skip Spence, although they do one of his songs on here. I'm not sure if every member's on like every song. There's also a guy named Dan Abernathy who's credited as playing rhythm guitar on here. So yeah, I'm not sure if they're all on every track or like who's playing on what, but the Wikipedia page at least credits everybody except Skip Spence as being on this one, although like I don't really hear a lot of Peter Lewis on here, at least vocally. He's credited with rhythm guitar, so it's hard to tell who's playing guitar, but anyway, yeah, this album starts off with Give It Hell, a Jerry Miller track. It's kind of a cool rocker. The big problem with it, and it's the problem with the whole album, is just the production. I'm not sure if this is just the vinyl copy of this or if the CD sounds this way as well, but it's just got this really, I don't know, like muddy sound, like it's hard to hear anything, especially the vocals on some of the tracks like really suffer from that. I think that it's probably due to like this album. I imagine they probably didn't have a lot of money to do this album, so it was probably not recorded in the best like circumstances. But yeah, just it sounds really pretty bad at points. And this song kind of suffers from that. Just the vocals sound really distorted. It's kind of hard to hear what the lyrics are. But it is kind of a catchy song. Parts of it remind me of like the vocal melody of some country song from like the 90s or something. I can't really remember which one off the top of my head. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent opener. Got some cool guitar in it. Good like energetic track to open the album. Just really let down by the production. Second track, On the Dime, another Jerry Miller song. The vocal on this one was a little bit better, a little bit clearer as far as the production goes. It's got some cool guitar on it. I like the drums a lot. The song is pretty catchy, but I think it's mostly like I like it for the guitar. Third track, Bitter Wind in Tanganyika, Bob Mosley song. This one I like a lot. It's probably up there for one of my favorite songs on here. It's catchy, sounds pretty good for the most part. It's got cool guitar in it. I think Bob Mosley's voice sounds pretty good. It is a little bit let down by the production though. Like overall, it doesn't sound as bad as like the first song. And, like you can at least hear his voice and hear what he's saying and stuff. But if it had a better production, it would be a really great track. Fourth track, Lady of the Night. This is a Jerry Miller written one. It's got some cool guitar. It's kind of a catchy song. The production on it, though, once again, really bad. I keep saying that for like every song. I really like the guitar solo on that one quite a bit, though. The fifth track, Took It All Away. Another Bob Mosley one. This one I like as well. It's catchy. Got another good solo. Thought Mosley sounded good on it as well. Track, Nighttime Rider. By Bob Mosley. This is another one that's kind of tied for my favorite here. Really catchy. This I thought was probably the best sounding song on the album, and I'm not really sure why that is. Like, I kind of wonder if it's because like this song doesn't have drums on it, and I wonder if they're having a hard time like with the drums and stuff and like that messing up the sound because of their budgets. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But for some reason this song sounds better production-wise than a lot of the other ones. But yeah, it's a good track. Seventh one, Talk About Love, Chuck Berry cover, and it was fine. Not my favorite thing on here. I like their playing. Nothing really wrong with it. The eighth track, All My Life. This is the Skip Spence song on the album, and it's good. It's got kind of, Spence's unique songwriting style to it. Like, it doesn't have like the usual structure of a song. It's a little repetitive, but it's like repetitive in a really catchy way. I like the guitar kind of riff that's in it. I don't know. It's almost like kind of hypnotically repetitive in points. But it's pretty cool track. That's another kind of highlight of the album for me. The ninth track, You'll Never Know. This is another Jerry Miller song, and this one I like a lot as well. It's really catchy. It's kind of let down a little bit by the production once again, because this one has a lot of vocal harmonies on it, which was always kind of a strong suit of theirs early on. But here, like, you just kind of, the way it sounds, like, you can tell that they're there, but you can't really hear how they sound, because it's like you're listening to the whole thing like in another room with like wool in your ears. It's just like you can't really make anything out that well. Then the 10th and final track, You Can Depend on Me, Bob Mosley song. It's kind of an okay rocker, not my favorite thing on here, but nothing really wrong with it. I think it's got some good playing on it. I like the drums. Cool guitar from Jerry Miller as always, but not a real highlight. Legendary Grape. I think I forgot to mention that this wasn't originally credited to Moby Grape when they put it out. They were in legal stuff with their manager again, or former manager. So they weren't able to call it Moby Grape. It was called, I think, the Melvilles was what it was credited to when it originally came out. This album, I don't know, it's kind of, I guess it's the last studio album they did, it's got good songs on it for the most part. Like, a lot of these songs on here, there's like 3 or 4 that I like really well, and the rest, there's nothing I really hate. It's just, it's really let down by the production. If they, I think it had the opportunity to record it probably with like more money, on like a bigger label, or like a big label or something, it probably would have came out better. But as it is, like, it's not one of the ones I listen to more because of the way it sounds. And I wouldn't recommend getting this one first. I would say go through all their other stuff and probably check this out as like the last of their studio ones. Just because of the production, like, that just really kind of lets the rest of the album down, because the songs just all they don't really sound that great even when they're a decent song. So Moby Grape, Legendary Grape, not a bad album. It's got some good tracks on it. It's just let down by the production.